so summer's not great. So kind of know what kind of year the bird you want a photographer. So kind of know which bird geese, Canadian geese, rubbish. No, it wasn't, it was a grey leg. Grey lag. There's another one coming. What's this one? Pigeon. Yeah, so there's just nothing going on. What is that racket over there? Probably HS2. Crap. Man. HS2 work over there. Helicopter over there. No wonder there's no bloody birds about. Yeah, so as I was saying, so yeah, as I was. Morning, I'm at Middleton Lakes today. Got the week off. The weather's not the best, but at least it stopped raining. I didn't expect to get much today, and I still don't, because it's that time of year where the kind of birds don't really show themselves much and there's not a lot going on. But saying that, at the start of the day this morning, I got a few shots straight away, which I think might be okay. So we'll get them out of the way and I'll just show you them first. I mean, they were all right, nothing special. But as I said, I didn't even expect to get anything, if I'm honest. It's just really, really quiet. I've been standing here trying to get some of these photos of these swifts, but they're that fast. And I think they're really hard. These are like my nemesis. These are house martins. I really struggle with them. They're just too fast. But while I was standing there taking these photos, I thought what I'd do was I'd run through some tips for beginners. Now, when I first started, I kind of had someone give me a little bit of advice, Roger, and he still does. But I think without him, and also at the start of when I started taking bird photos, I was always looking for tips and advice. So I thought I'd do my own little kind of video where I'll kind of share my little tips and advice, things I've learned and things that I think that matter. So I'm just going to reel them off as I remember them in no particular order. And hopefully you might pick up one or two that you might think, you know what, that's not a bad idea. So as there's not going to be a lot of photos, I thought that's what I'd do. Practice, 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 practice and practice. Every night I use my camera. I'll go out in the back garden and I'll shoot some birds. I'll come out of a weekend without fail. And you just need practice. These shots you see of like birds in flight that are crystal clear and small birds in flight, blue tits and things like that. There's probably 100, 200 photos before that were all missed, out of focus. not even a bird in the frame. But it's practice, and the people that show you these photos of the small birds in flight, you know, capturing some great poses, they haven't showed you the 200 or 300 that didn't make it. And that was probably the only one that did that day, or, you know, one of the only few. So, practice, lots of practice. Birds in flight, small birds, they are really hard. No matter what anybody tells you, and whatever you see, photos from pros, photos from amateurs, small birds in flight are hard. The smaller, in my opinion, the harder they are. Particularly stay away from swifts, swallows, house martins, things like that, because they're erratic flyers. They don't fly in a straight line. They're hard to track, and they are extremely fast. So stay away from small birds if you're just starting out. Light. As with all photography, light plays a big part. Now I think with bird photography, that's really important. Sometimes you can have the light cast in the right direction, which will make the photo a lot better than if it was cast from the other direction. Same bird that hasn't even moved. Also with the background, the colours of the background, the way the light's shining on the background, again, that makes a massive difference with regards to how the final photo will come out. Start big. Try not to concentrate on the little birds and go for the big ones, the herons, the geese, the swans. The bigger the bird, the easier and the slower they are. So practice on the big birds. Don't think that you need a massive lens to do bird photography. It helps, you get closer, but it's not necessary. I took quite a lot of photos when I first started doing photography with my 18 to 135mm lens, and I got some all right shots with it. So although it's good to have and it's better to have a bigger lens, it's not necessary. Always be ready. If you're out walking and you've got your camera with you, have your camera set up to something that you can just pick up and shoot straight away. Now, every different shot requires different settings, but if you're kind of half prepared, it's better than not being prepared. I walk around with a high shutter speed and quite a big, large center spot focusing for tracking. And if I see something quick, I can just pick my camera up, point it in the middle, try and get the object in the middle of the screen, and I can take some shots. So kind of give yourself some kind of run and gun settings. I have done a video on this before. I'll leave the link in the description below if you want to know what mine are. Keep your shutter speed high. Birds are fast. So if you want kind of sharp photos, you don't want none of the blur, the beaks, the wings or whatever, keep your shutter speed as high as you can. Obviously the smaller the bird, the faster the bird's going to be, so you need a faster shutter speed. If you've got like a heron, a swan, some kind of goose just sitting around, then obviously you can lower your shutter speed. Always be aware from which direction the light's coming. You don't want to shoot into the light, because then the bird will be just a black outline. If you look at the bird flying in the sky and it looks like a black outline, that's how it's going to come out. You need the sun either at the side of you or directly behind you. You don't want to shoot into the sun, because you'll just get a silhouette. Obviously, unless you want a photo of a silhouette. different birds do different things, so you'll be aware of what they're likely to do. So you can think, well, that bird kind of does that, so I want to get a photo of it doing that, rather than just thinking, that's a bird, I'm going to take a photo of it, but not really knowing what kind of thing that does. For example, long-tailed tits, they like hanging kind of upside down on branches, which make nice shots. Terns, they dive for fish, collect fish, they make nice shots. Trying to think of some more kind of examples. Swifts and swallows fly around trying to get small insects. So yeah, try and learn your subject and it'll give you kind of a bit more of an idea of what kind of action shots you can get. Be prepared to take hundreds of photos. You're not just going to go out and take, what, 20, 30 photos and, I don't know, 2 or 3 of them are going to be good. You need to take a lot of photos to kind of get that one. You might end up taking a couple of hundred to get one shot. Me, for example, I struggle with swifts, swallows and house martins. So I will take hundreds of them shots and I won't be happy with any of them. So just be prepared to take a lot of shots, which again goes back to practice, practice, practice. Visit nature reserves. There's always a lot of action going on, so it gives you a bit of practice. You know, if you're in the garden and you don't get that many birds, visit a nature reserve. There's always birds there. If you've got a garden or something, put some bird feeders up. It'll attract the birds into your garden and also give you a bit more practice when you're sitting around kind of doing nothing. You practice with your shutter speeds, the light, how close you can get to them with your lens, how close you can get to them without scaring them off. Know what time is best for bird photography. Birds tend to like eating first thing in the morning and again round about 5, 6 in the morning and in the evening. So use those opportunities. Don't kind of go out midday thinking you're going to see a lot of birds. You stand more chance seeing them in the morning. Know the best time of year to go out. In my opinion, it's spring. The birds are a bit more active, the nest building, the fighting over looking for mates and things like that. So there's more action going on, you get more action shots. Kind of main summer goes dead. Well, it does in my opinion. They've all kind of had the chicks now. So there's not really a lot going on. So kind of bear in mind what you want to photograph and your subject, what its habits are, and is it here in the summer, is it here in the winter, when's the best time to photograph it, when's it do its exciting stuff. Use bird hides, sit and wait. This is something I don't do. Walking around, obviously you disturb birds, they see you coming, they disappear. If you kind of sit yourself down anywhere or kind of hang about in one specific spot, they kind of start coming back. So yeah, sit around and wait. Don't expect everything to come to you because it doesn't. Well, it does in a way, doesn't it? If you kind of sit and wait. You know what I mean. Don't get disheartened. The amount of times I've been out and, I don't know, spent 50 minutes or an hour or whatever taking photos of a particular kind of bird. For example, blue tits on a wall. I'm trying to get some photos of them flying, you know, as they're taking off. So, like, you know, bird in flight shots. And I've gone home and 80% of them are just of like a blank wall or, you know, the tail feathers or whatever. And I just haven't got the one shot. It happens a lot. Don't let it put you off. Just keep going out there and practicing. You will get it, and it will come eventually. And as I said, don't think that because you get better at photography that it becomes easier. It doesn't really. I can come out and probably only get 5 or 6 shots sometimes in one day that I'm happy with. Other days I can come out and get a lot more. But I kind of feel like I was doing that when I kind of started for photography. Maybe not getting, I don't know, all the shots of birds in flight like I wanted the first few times, and I'm a bit better at it now. But it still takes a long time to get better. And as I said, pros don't show you the, I don't know, 500 or 600 photos or how many photos it was that it took to get that amazing shot that they're showing you. I don't show you every shot. Not that I'm a pro or saying I'm a pro. I'm gonna head back now. I think I've passed on some little tips. I don't know if they're any use, probably not. But it's nothing happening here today. I haven't took a photo in ages now. Not one that was worth taking. It's just crap. Nothing out at all. But I'm going back that way, and there's a couple of turns down there, so I may get a shot of a couple of turns. I was kind of hoping that the hobby would be around over this side. This is where I've got some photos of it before, catching the dragonflies. But today I haven't really seen many insects. It's still a bit windy, and like I said, it's been really raining, so I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. So there hasn't been a lot of photos. So I've got some photos that I've took over the past couple of days when I've managed to get out. Various different things, birds, insects. So I'll show you them now. But if there's nothing else, thanks for watching. Until next time, if there is something else, I'll leave them after this.